Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. We're gonna do another quick breakdown video. Breakdown of my car video. We did kind of a version of this when my brother started, but it took way too long. And we went down just this rabbit hole and really didn't talk much about the car. But this video is going to be, I'm hoping to keep it within 15 minutes. So I'm pretty much going to be breaking down the parts I'm currently using, what I'm changing, and what I've left stock on the car to get me where I'm at today, and why there's certain components I'm leaving stock. So we'll start at the nose and then I'll work my way back to the rear end. Starting in the front, the engine is not out yet. I've been working long hours and like 6-day weeks, so I've been trying to get to shop as soon as possible. Today's the day, but engine's not in. Engine's still at my brother's house. We got it finished, we got it all buttoned up. I just got to transfer it over here. I just gotta do I gotta measure the clearances and all that on the clutch, pressure plate, the disc and all that, and the teeth. But it's a whole ordeal. So starting off in the front, easy radiator. This is actually an Amazon radiator for a Banshee, Yamaha Banshee. I actually put this in the car last year. It actually works great for the car. I have it a little janky because I don't know if in the previous video I was mentioning that the engine was overheating, so I try to do a quick fix on it and put a radiator. It's pretty thick radiator, holds a decent amount of fluid. Remember, just to cool the car. So I'm just gonna go ahead, now that everything's taken apart, I'm gonna chop it here, chop it down below, put dash 12 AN lines, and then make them finally braided in and out through the motor. I'm using electric water pump from a 1989 Mercedes-Benz, I think C300, if that C300 even existed at that time, but I know it's for a Mercedes-Benz. I don't know where it's at right now, but if you guys search it up on Amazon, a Bosch genuine one is like 30 bucks. Works phenomenal. So I've never had any issues with it so far. I just put it on recently. Running a 3-gallon tank in the front with of course methanol M1. For 5 gallons I mix about 12 to 13 ounces of premix. To certain people that might seem a lot. The reason why we do it is we like to make sure the inside of the housings and everything are lubricated, especially using factory components. We just want to make sure, taking the extra precaution, making sure everything just lives longer. So every 5 gallons, 12 ounces of premix. I typically use Beano. I've been using it for the past 2-3 years, and I've been using it ever since. So there's that. Most important probably feature on this car would be the front suspension, all completely stock. I mentioned in a previous video I bought a brand new, well not brand new, but a Reman OEM steering box column. Reason why I don't want to convert it to a rack and pinion and put a tubular front frame, 2 reasons. I want to keep the weight in the front. I'm not running a wheelie bar on it, so it helps with the transfer and it helps keeping the nose down. 2, same thing with the factory struts and shocks. Reason being why I'm still using the factory struts with Racing B lowering springs with no tie downs or anything like that. I figured, I don't know if I'm right about this or not, I kind of just by theory and how the car reacts, I noticed that leaving the factory shop to extend on launch, that wheel and spindle acts like almost like, if I'm saying this right, like a counterweight. So imagine you holding a ball to the floor and then you yank up. You have all that travel and the ball still haven't moved, so that weight still stays on the floor. Now, when you have the front shocks tied down, imagine holding the basketball and pulling up. So all that weight is moving with momentum, and I feel like that's why these small wheelbase cars like Starlets and RX-7s, when you start tying down the front end, they start just popping wheelies. So if you guys, that's useful information. There you go for all the factory body street cars trying to hit 60 foot hard. Just leave the factory struts, let them hang. The front wheels, I have Weld Magnum spindles. I've always loved these wheels since they came out, since I was, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years old. These are probably one of the OG Weld racing wheels. Ever since I seen them, I think on Pirata Motors, loved them. So I went ahead, I was like, when I go get my own car, and you know, conveniently it's white just like Pirata. So went perfect. So Weld racing wheels, spindle, they're for Anglia. So I'm using the factory spindle, but from 83. So 79 to 83 RX7. You can go ahead and order you some spindle Anglia wheels, and then what you have to do is, I forgot how to match them, but the factory spindle bearings. Hey mommy, I love you. So the factory spindle bearings for Mazda for 83, and then the Anglia spindle bearings that come with the wheels, you just have to match the bearings and the I forgot what they're called, the sleeves that you put on the wheels itself. You just got to make sure they're in some sort of way where they'll fit nice, and then when you put that nut, it free spins. So I've been having it like this for about 3 to 4 years. Works great. I just check it, but I've never had to retighten it once. So for the most part, that's what the front suspension. Motor, it's a 12A semi bridge port, full bridge, big ports. Anybody knows in the world of drag racing, big turbo, the more air you can stuff in the engine, more fuel, more power. So I try to utilize, you know, all the different combinations of rotaries, and I just mash them together. So it's semi-peripheral, full bridge. The housings, my brother was the one who ported them. They're pretty decent size exhaust ports, probably just as big as a Turbo 2, if not bigger than a Turbo 2. The factory caps, we threw them out. So that's the side of the engine. Same components that we mentioned in my brother's video with his Starlet. Same thing. She's so cute, right? She's over there in the background just cheering me on.
Just keeps yelling.
Love you. So that's it for the engine combination. Racing B intake, semi ports done to the intake by Abel, my tuner. It has a E&J big bully intake, so the butterfly flaps are bigger than the standard E&J, and I think even bigger than the Pro J bully intake. So I went with that with 8 Denso 2000 injectors, CC injectors. I'm running a Ron's 1.5 inch fuel pump. Actually bought it used, still kicking. 3 years going on. I don't even know how many passes the previous guy had, but pressure maintained solid. Never had any issues with the fueling system on this car. Engine has a McLeod, the engine is bolted up to a McLeod twin disc clutch. You adjust it by shims. I bought that used too. I think I spent like $1,000, whatever, with even the discs were even kind of tapered. They weren't even eating right, but at the time that's what I had used it, and it never slipped once. Since now, when I took it apart, one of the pads was all torn up, so no meat was left. So I went ahead and bought, I think, Bonafente, or I don't know how that's mentioned, replacement disc. So brand new disc for the McLeod. And then it's married to the infamous Jericho DR4 4-speed dog box. Bought it brand new. I think I spent like $3,000 brand new. Love it. I know people were telling me, you know, just be careful with them. They're not as strong, but I'll talk to the guy who built me the transmission, and he says as long as you're still on a small tire, car weighs fairly light, and you're not making 800-900 foot-pounds of torque, which these engines never do, he said it will live up to what you need it for, and it's been good ever since. So that's it with the front end. Baby, if you want to just scan of the engine bay, show them. It looks rough. I still haven't cleaned it. Still has the factory engine bay paint, so you know, hey, she's a workhorse. So if there's anything you guys see that I haven't mentioned, just write down in the comments, you know, your questions, and we'll go from there. These are where I stuff my coils. Those are the newer version MSD blaster coils. Reason I'm using those is I think the megajoules, it outputs a little bit more sparking power than the ones that everybody typically use, which is the red blaster coils SS ones. They've been working great. Too good. They keep burning up my spark plug wires, so which that's not a bad problem to have. Electrical work, probably not the greatest looking. Me and my dad did it within a week, just to make it to the 2024 World Sport Compact. It looks hideous. Honestly, I've seen YouTubers that had that their engine harnesses worse, and their cars work phenomenal. My car always worked, so it is what it is. It's a older LT16, not a C. Wait, is it a C or a S? It doesn't matter. It's not the one that has can hub, so I can't use the freaking dash. I've been shifting the car all by ear. I had a shift light here, but it's too small, so I can't really see it. So there's that. There's not really much in this car, to be honest. Everybody knows the famous 2 big disc 2 MSD boxes. That's used too. Computer is used. What else can I mention in here? The CO2. I am running CO2 on this car currently with the AMS 1000 boost controller. I try to keep, like I said in my brother's video, my car, my brother's car, and my dad's all similar. So God forbid one is down, we can just interchange parts. And on top of that, it's easier for me to work on. And if I learn something on one car and I can transfer it to another one and it works, like, they're good. I had 3 test dummies. What else? Yeah, that's it. My unsafe roll cage. So another, again, reason why I'm not gonna go fast. Just gonna stay consistent. Last but not least, the rear end. The majority of the money spent on this car was in the rear end. Reason being is, oh my god, when I was going through the whole street phase and no prep phase, I was breaking rear ends left and right. I had a 4 to 8 inch, and it probably mentioned multiple times. Broke it 2 or 3 times. I was fed up with breaking transmissions and rear diff, so I tried to bulletproof the drivetrain behind the engine. So rear end is a Ford 9 inch. It's a big bearing housing that I converted the ends to small bearings. Reason being is here. Sorry, my wife had to go do mommy duties. So reason being, I already had this Willwood drag brake kit when I had on the 4 to 8 inch, so I just went just to make it easier so I don't have to buy another brake kit. I had the fabricator go and weld the ends of the housing for small bearing, Ford small bearing. I'm using Moser 35 spline axles. They're half 20-inch studs. I do have the, I don't know if they're 5/8 studs. Well, you don't have to use the lug nuts that kind of have that neck spacer. It's just, I have to bring it to the machine shop or just get another set of axles where they can machine it, or like I said, another set of axles to swap them out. I am running these World Racing Alpha wheels. They're 10-inch wide, 5-inch back spacing, 5-inch front spacing, and these actually, they don't even make them anymore in this version, but this is double beadlock. So if you go on World Racing right now and try to get this wheel double beadlock, you won't get it. You only get it in a single. Like I said, if there's anything that you guys find strange or you guys want answers, just the questions that you guys have, just put it in the comment section below. I am running the Billet Inc. cash can merged to one that was custom made. Reason being was this wasn't enough to hold all the blow by, so I just merged 2 together. This is what routes all the way underneath the car to the front end. And then I'll show you guys the suspension and the rear diff. So that's the 4.9-inch rear diff. I have Jexter's ladder bars. I forgot the length of them. I'm honestly don't know. I have the Jegs. I think these are like street versions, single adjustable coilovers, and I have 100, I believe, 25-pound springs. Reason being, I honestly, when I bought these shocks many years ago, my theory was the stiffer the spring, when the car goes to transfer, the spring like doesn't compress as fast, so it pushes the tire harder into the ground. I'm not sure if my theory is right or not, but it's been working so far. So that's the rear end. It is using a bolt through third member. I got it from Quick Performance. I honestly forgot the brand of it. That's the rear end. So like I said, most of the money spent was on the transmission and rear diff, just to make sure that I never have any issues back here. Now I'm starting to spend money on good quality parts that surrounds the engine, like the turbo. The turbo actually got at a really good deal. So I found this turbo up north towards Ocala, Florida. It was a guy who had, I think it was a Chevy Nova, a black Chevy Nova. I think he had a Proline Hemi in it. He had 2 of these turbos mounted up. He sold one, and then this one was up for sale. This thing, I have pictures of it when I first bought it. I don't even think he ran it. He said he did. He said he did like 5 pulls on the dyno. It didn't have barely, if not any, exhaust residue, anything in the housing, center section. Even the rear turbine housing wasn't even burnt or nothing. So I don't know. I know it's a 88 103 precision turbo. I believe is an XPR, or if not a Gen 2, not sure. Like I said, 115 V-band rear turbine housing. I picked up that turbo for, I believe it's like 2,100 bucks. So I just kept looking until I found the guy, messaged the guy as fast as I could, send the money through PayPal, and he shipped it to me within, I think in 3 days it showed up at my house. So that was a bless. Guys, that's it. The car still has all the factory windows. The car has every factory panel, fender, lights. I just recently took out the motors for the headlights. My dad's been wanting me to gut the doors, but to be honest, I'm a very big advocate of, if something's not broken, don't fix it. And the reason why I don't want to go to the extreme on gutting the car is because I feel like I got the suspension kind of dialed. I'm just dealing with the power delivery to the rear tire. So I'm actually getting a slipper clutch, a slipper valve. I'm looking at the Billy Bankshift slipper system. I really like it. It looks promising. I think, honestly, no one with the capabilities of making that computer really work has even touched it yet. I don't even think they know much about it. So I want to go ahead and grab it before it becomes this big thing. I kind of want to keep it like a gun in the glove compartment type of deal. So I don't know, guys. This car's super simple. Factory floors. Other than the ladder bars, ripped through the factory floor, it has a crossbar in the center, but there's nothing from that bar going forward. That's another thing I gotta add, so the body don't twist. Man, there's a lot of things I want to do to this car, but right now I know I haven't even taken out the full potential of the setup now, so I just want to take baby steps. There's no need to make a bunch of changes. Everybody knows you start making a bunch of changes, you start losing the car, and you have a harder time gathering it back up. So there's a turbo. Oh, wastegate. I want to show you guys the wastegate. This right here. It looks similar to a JGS. It's an eBay wastegate, piston driven. It has 2 rubber seals, like I said, piston. I just make sure I keep the inside of the cap a little bit lubricated, so it doesn't tear or rip the piston, especially when you have cold CO2 going in. It can dry them up really fast. I did put silicone to seal this cap to the base. You just never know, especially at this type of racing. You try to make sure there's no leaks anywhere. So this is a 60 VS Racing wastegate. I think I paid around Christmas 138 bucks for it. Never had any issues, and this thing is like super precise. I remember my tuner ever since I mentioned I had the position before, which is on my brother's Starlet. He always said go to a piston driven wastegate. You'll notice a difference in regulating the boost. So definitely big difference. I would like to have my brother use the same wastegate, but for now the starter is working, so we're gonna leave it alone. But this is a manifold done by a good friend of ours, Dennis, who owns the chocolate gray RX-7. We've shown him in a couple of our videos. Beautiful work, no cracks, no nothing. Thick stainless steel tubing. He used really good quality piping. I gotta clean this out. That's silicone right there. But yeah, guys, this is it. Pretty soon we're gonna provide more eventful videos. Next month we're bringing my brother Starlet to an event for bracket. I'm not sure, I'm on the fence whether I'm gonna finish my car to bring it or not. Actually, the whole week friends are coming down from Mass. I'm really excited that, you know, we're able to keep pumping out videos for you guys, at least somewhat consistent. I'm getting my flow back. I'm not as shy in the camera as I was starting it all over again. And again, we just want to provide you guys good content. So, you know, spread the love, share this video. Like I said, like, comment, share, subscribe. We love it when you guys comment on our Facebook page and on our Instagram page, asking questions, or even you know, kind of cheering us on for uploading the videos. We really love that, guys. So keep messaging us. We honestly, at work, when you guys message us, that's like the best thing ever. I get to conversate with one of you guys. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.